You are listening to the Outlaw Podcast with me, your host, Andrea Hall. I am a certified equine gestalt coach, speaker, 3-time author, and lawyer. I help women lawyers who are miserable in their career, struggling with mental and emotional health issues, wanting to have fun in their lives, and struggling to be selfish. After fulfilling my dream of being a criminal defense attorney and opening my own law practice right out of law school, I thought I had it all. While at the height of my career, my 18-month-old puppy died, and I thought, what am I killing myself for? Sometime later, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and my world turned upside down. It was in that moment I realized something had to change. This podcast is about sharing my journey with you about what is possible in your life outside the legal profession, stopping the adulting, and being able to play as a child, inspiring you to dream again. Let the journey begin. Hello, Facebook, and welcome back to another episode of Outlaw. You can't handle the truth. I lied to myself for years. As a matter of fact, I was lying to myself for 3 years or longer. I was wanting to put a square peg in a round hole. And you know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's exactly what I was doing in those 3+ years. I was completely miserable. I was suffering from health issues. As a matter of fact, during those 3 years, I was consistently getting sicker and sicker, and I was searching for answers, yet those answers were not appearing. I was not having fun in my life. I wasn't getting some of the things that I so desperately wanted in my life, and I didn't have balance. I was grinding it out at the office and working weekend marathons all the time. And I wanted so badly to be happy and create balance and figure out what was going on with my health and to have excitement again in my life and not just be a slave to my career. And I really had to change my mindset and accept the truth, even though at the time I couldn't handle it. I had this mentality that I was somebody as a lawyer, and who was I going to be if my identity as a lawyer was gone? Because as a lawyer, I could walk into a room and somebody would say, "What do you do?" And I'd say, "I'm a lawyer." And it was like, "Ah, she's arrived," right? And my ego got in the way of who am I going to be if I walk into a room and have to introduce myself as Andrea Hall, not Andrea Hall, I'm a criminal defense lawyer and I represent people accused of a sex offense. And so I really started having to look at who I was at my core, what thoughts, beliefs, and values I had, and what was ultimately stopping me from having the things that I so desperately wanted. Because clearly I was being stopped. Even though I thought I wanted something different, my results weren't changing. And so I really had to become open to what was possible on the other side of not being a lawyer. And was I going to be okay with that? And was I able to set my ego aside? Was I able to dream of what was possible? Was I able to be a kid again and have a limitless imagination and not worry about the naysayers or what was going to stop me or what obstacles might get in my way, like money, time, education. I needed to learn how to be a kid again and have fun and again be open to those limitless possibilities. Do you remember as a child when, you know, you went to mom and said, I want a cookie or I want that toy, and mom said no? Did a child take no for an answer? No. I'm pretty sure I went to the next person, and that would probably have been my dad, and said, Dad, can I have, or I want? And if I didn't get, what did your mom say? And he gave me an answer, it might have been a yes. And if it didn't, then you went to the next person, right? Like, is grandma in the house? Or can I sweet talk grandma into that, right? And as we get older, we tend to hear the first no and stop. Yet a child never does that. A child's determined, and they will continue until they get what they want, whether it's a temper tantrum in the middle of Walmart, or I'm going to figure out how to climb the cabinets and get the cookie that you told me I couldn't have, because now you're in the bathroom and I have 5 or 10 minutes that I can get into trouble, right? And I'm going to get that cookie even though you told me no. And I learned to really set boundaries, whether it was in my career or my personal life, to help establish that ability for me to be a priority so that I could dream again and so that I could figure out what was holding me back and what was stopping me from the truth. And in that time process and in that soul searching journey, because this was really the first time in my life that I had no clue what I was going to do. None. I knew when I graduated from high school where I was going to go to college. I knew what degree I was going to get. I knew I wanted to go to law school. I knew I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney. Shortly thereafter, I knew that I was going to open my own law practice. So I always knew. And this was the first time that I was out in the middle of the ocean floundering and looking for a life preserve, a rescue boat, anything to give me hope at this point in time, to lead me in the right direction. Like, what was the next breadcrumb that I could follow in the hopes of discovering what that was going to be? And for me, it was a lot of being quiet and listening to my intuition, journaling and meditating, and discovering in that process what was going to make my heart sing again. What was going to allow me to have the freedom that I so desired and allow me to unlock the handcuffs that had me tied to the criminal justice system and allow me to play and continue to have the strong boundaries of saying no. And I was able to finally discover that and get to the other side. And now I'm able to handle the truth. And the fog has lifted. And I know that there are other women lawyers who are out there struggling with some of the same things that I was struggling with. That fear of the unknown, which is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. The lack of the balance, working marathon weekends, clients who don't pay their bills, struggling in relationships with their significant other, missing kids' soccer games, missing kids' doctor's appointments, being just overwhelmed in general and forgetting to put stuff on their calendar, missing dates, teachers' gifts, things of that nature. And most importantly, not putting themselves first and creating a healthy lifestyle, whether that's through meditation or exercise or eating healthy. Those are all things that I see way too often with women in our profession. We give, and yet we forget to receive. And at the end of the day, the more often you give, the harder it is for you to give back to yourself. And when the well is empty, you have nothing ultimately to give to someone else. So I know that this profession is not easy. And I know that we all could use some support. And I'm here to support you. So if this does resonate with you, please send me a message, drop me a line here in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you to see how I can support you in some of the things that, I talked about. You just being miserable in your practice, or just miserable with your life in general, having health issues, the lack of fun, and the lack of time and balance. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Outlaw. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Make it a great day. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Outlaw. There is life after litigation. If anything I said in this episode resonates with you, call for a free exploratory session to see how I can help you. My horses will give you instantaneous feedback. Unlike traditional talk therapy, you will shift your awareness into real time with the help of a horse. The horses are like lie detectors, flushing out limiting beliefs with a swish of their tail, a shift of their 1,200-pound body, or a simple unwillingness to move. Horses have a way of seeing into the window of our souls. Horses have been connected to humanity since the dawn of time. Their hearts can heal and mend our broken hearts. Simply standing in their presence can change our lives forever, putting the puzzle pieces back together and returning us to wholeness. Horses are restoring the parts of us that have been missing. You can call us at 970-682-4405 to set up your appointment today. Want to be inspired daily? See about our latest events or purchase a copy of my books? Go to our website at www.witherswhisper.com. That's www.witherswhisper.com. Or you can follow us on any social media venue at Withers Whisper. Until the next episode, listen to the whispers.